And it was 26 miles to the Department of Motor Vehicles office. You couldn't ignore that many sixes. After Jessie scurried off to brush her teeth, Cissy slipped into a plaid cotton sundress and pink plastic sandals that squeaked when she walked and rubbed blisters on her little toes. The sound irritated her mama just enough to make those blisters worthwhile. As Cissy left her room, she noticed Jessie across the hall, her ear pressed to the closed door of the bedroom she shared with Lily. "What's going on?" Cissy asked.
"Daddy's talking to Lily, and they don't want to be disturbed, but I need my shoes."
The 6-year-old squirmed with indecision. Cissy had made her sisters promise never to be alone with him, and to always keep their door open. Her hand hovered over the porcelain doorknob, hopelessness squeezing her heart into a tight mass. Her breath began to escape in short bursts. She put her hands to the sides of her head to stop the rush of thoughts tumbling up and down and sideways. When that didn't work, her hands curled into tight fists at her sides, and she stood as stiff as a board. Jessie tugged at her sister's dress, anxious fingers twirling the cloth.
"What's wrong? You having a spell?"
Cissy unclenched her fists and looked at the marks her fingernails had dug into her palms, half-moons that looked like the birds Lily drew in pictures of the sky. She counted to 20 to steady her breath. "I'm fine," she finally said. "Head on down to breakfast." But she wasn't fine. She'd made a deal with her daddy, one that protected her sisters, if Cissy agreed to keep their secret. She didn't know why she felt he'd one day go back on his word, but that's what her churning gut told her. It was rarely wrong, and to ignore it now could jeopardize the 2 beings in the whole wide world who still made it worthwhile to get up each day. With Jessie out of sight, Cissy turned the knob, and the door swung open easily. She shuddered to realize it made no noise, not even a half-hearted squeak from the metal hinges to alert someone, just like her own door.
"You can't be in here!"
Lily snatched the piece of orange construction paper that lay across their father's lap and shoved it under a pillow. Bits of gold glitter clung to his slacks.
"I was showing Daddy a birthday surprise for Jessie. Now get, before Jessie barges in and ruins everything."
Her father stood. He adjusted his tie with his right hand. His left clenched his favorite gray fedora. It was the one he wore on mornings he had to be in court. He said it brought him luck. Cissy looked at her feet, then to the flowers on the wallpaper, an atrocious pink not found anywhere in nature. There were too many blooms to count, and she doubted anything could calm her stomach in that moment anyway. When he slid past her in the doorway, the lingering scent of shaving soap clung to him. "You got something on your mind, girl?" His whisper was just a breath, warm and disquieting. "No, sir." She turned her head to the side, desperate to escape their proximity. "Mama wants us down at breakfast. I came for Lily." "Well, you know better than to keep her waiting." He laughed to himself and left them be. Cissy couldn't help but watch him until she could no longer hear his footfalls on the stairs. The ghost of him remained, though, almost a solid thing, rendering her fixed to the spot.
"You're a hot mess. You better brush that hair before Mama sees it."
Lily's command seemed to break the spell. "I'll be right down," Cissy said. "Go on without me." She waited a few seconds before walking into her parents' room. Something wholly outside herself compelled her forward. She headed straight to the old bureau, where her daddy hid his revolver in the bottom drawer under his socks. Neat little bundles grouped according to color. He kept the thing loaded, because he said an empty gun wasn't much use when it came down to needing it. Today, she agreed with him. She wouldn't have known how to load the bullets, but was hopeful she could pull a trigger. She heard her mama berating their housekeeper, Bess, for using too much dish soap. But it was Lily's voice that dominated the kitchen conversation. She asked Jessie what kind of picture book she wanted.